Okay, so we're at West Ham ABC. I'm joined by Goodwin Boxing's latest signing in Cruiserweight Biola Kudus, and of course the head of Goodwin Boxing, Steve Goodwin. How are we doing, gents?
Good, thank you.
Good.
So Biola obviously just signed today with Steve Goodwin, Goodwin Boxing. How excited about you making this new transition into the next part of your career?
Well, yeah, I'm ready to go now. I'm just looking forward to getting back in the gym. I've had good talks with Steve, yourself and Josh, and I'm really excited now for the future. I'm looking forward to some of the big fights what I'm going to be involved in, and obviously I'm not going to let too much away, but at the same time I'm just excited and just ready to get back in the gym and to get training hard.
I mean, people that follow Goodwin Boxing, Biola, would have seen you fight on our shows beforehand. What's made the change now to make you leap over and obviously be managed by Steve now?
I think, where I've boxed on the shows, I've had an insight into how you go about doing things, and it's what interests me. And like I say, for the opportunity, what you give and deliver for your fighters, that's what I want for my career, and that's why I'm here.
So obviously we had the big fight with Carl Wheeler beforehand. There was a bit of needle between you. I know you and Carl have talked again since, and I mean, is that a fight you're looking at potentially in the future?
Hopefully, it might be a fight what we could have later on down the line. I mean, obviously, a lot of things are said leading up to a build-up. Maybe after the fight, you reflect on what's said and what was done, and you know, sometimes certain things are said in the heat of the moment, but you learn from that. Carl got the win, deserving win. It was a setback for me, but I've come back. I've boxed. I've got some other fights lined up now, so then maybe we can get a rematch on at some point. But at the main time, Steve, on management, and the team, the Goodwin team, are going to decide what fights are for me, and I'll just step in the ring and fight.
So obviously just come back off it, just had a great win against the tough Croatian in Tomislav Rudan down in Portsmouth. Is it a case now, Biola, just want to keep the momentum going, just looking for, obviously we'll talk to Steve in a minute about fights coming up, is that the case now, just to keep busy? Yeah,
just to keep busy, just keep the momentum going, stay in the winning ways, and just stay focused on what I need to do.
So Steve, we talk about, obviously Biola looks like you're going to be fighting potentially September the 24th against Ryan Crawford. Can you tell us a little bit more about that fight?
Yeah, well, Ryan's looking for a 50-50 matchup, and Biola wants to do the same, and it's a fight where both fighters can move on and the winner will move towards the Southern Area title, and for the loser it's not the end of the world, and at the end of the day they both want to be in good fights. Biola, when he took the Carl Wheeler fight, which I think in hindsight was probably not the right move at that time with the preparation he had for it, but he wants to have real fights, and this is a real fight, and it's a fight where there's everything to gain and nothing really to lose for both of them. But for Biola, if he can get through the Ryan Crawford fight, I think that a Southern Area title fight will be on the horizon for him.
So obviously lots of cruiserweights. Obviously currently within the stable we've got the Southern Area champion Wally Camacho. What's your plans for Biola over the next sort of 12 to 24 months about how you see him progressing his career? What plans have you got for him?
Well, it's to develop we can't fight for anybody in the ring, so providing he keeps winning, then there is no doubt that Southern Area at some point next year will be on the horizon. Wally Camacho, who is the champion at the moment, would be far too experienced for Biola at this present time. You've got to remember people at different stages of the career and have fought at different levels, so it's important that, you know, you've got to remember he's only had 7 fights?
Yeah,
seven fights. He's a 7-fight novice still, just now moving towards the Southern Area level, so there's no point trying to fight English title level fighters at this stage. I mean, that can come down the line. So it's a case of just strategically planning his fights, making sure they're the right distance apart. When Biola fought Carl Wheeler, he only had 5 weeks from before his previous fight to that fight, so that's not ideal. So those sort of errors will not be happening in the future, because at the end of the day, if he, you know, as I said on the night, Carl Wheeler was the better man and he won, he accepts that, but going forward he wants to make sure if he ever fights Carl or anybody again at that level, he's got the best possible preparation, and we're going to make sure that there'll be no excuses when he fights anybody, and if he's good enough, he delivers. I mean, our job is to deliver the best opportunities and that a boxer's talent will allow, and that's what we'll do with Biola.
Obviously, Goodwin Boxing's expanded, you're attracting a lot of fighters. What was it about Biola that's made you, you know, obviously I know you don't sign anyone that comes to you. What was it about Biola that obviously made you think, yeah, I want to, you know,
he's got a lot. If you look at that fight with Carl Wheeler, he had an awful lot of heart, and you know, in that fight, you know, he got tagged in the second round. wanted to continue. At that time, I think some people thought it was a controversial stoppage. In the first round, it was a war. But, he wasn't scared to get in the ring and do that. Carl Wheeler was a much more experienced fighter. And perhaps it was probably the wrong time for that fight. And I think planned correctly and with the right fights, he can achieve the level that he can. And the Ryan Crawford fight's a tough fight. But at the end of the day, if Biola wants to get to the next level, then he must overcome Ryan Crawford. And at the end of the day, boxers will find the levels that they're at. I think Biola can achieve a very good level, but it's a case of the boxers can only achieve that level if they are managed correctly and given the right opportunities, and strategically the plans are right.
Biola, obviously, you're taking it as a credit to you. We've had the chat today. You don't want to take easy fights. If you look at the Wheeler fight, which we knew was a tough fight for you, then from your comeback fight after that, you went in straight with Thomas Lavrudan. He's been in with Tony Conquest. He's been in with some good people. Is that really what you are, Biola? It's just a case for I just want to fight whoever for you. Is it?
Yeah, basically, you line them up and I'll fight them. This is what I do. I'm a fighter. I train hard and I'll step in the ring that night. If you say I'm fighting that guy, I'll fight that guy. I'm fighting that guy. I fight that guy. It makes no difference.
And look at the conversations we had earlier. We don't want to mention names, and Biola was saying, "Yeah, I'll fight him and I'll fight him," and I said, "No, you won't. No, you won't," because he's willing to fight anybody. But sometimes they do need a little bit of reins held back a bit.
Is that what you want from a fighter, though, Steve? Do you want fighters that want to, in an ideal world, is it you want a fighter that wants to fight everyone? Then obviously it's your job then to with his team to pick the right fights.
As you know, Kev, you do the matchmaking as well alongside Josh and ourselves. We have two types of fighter. You have the Biola type of fighter that wants to fight anybody and you have to rein them back. And you get another type of fighter with every time you offer anybody with a pulse, they try and say no. So doing what we do, it's obviously a lot better, and it's much easier to do the job with a fighter like Biola who wants to fight anybody. Because other than that, you can get some fighters who want to build up a 10-0 record and not fight anyone, and that really doesn't fit in with how you develop, because they end up fighting somebody with a pulse and get smashed up. So you want to have a fighter that wants to fight everybody, and you want to be able to rein them back, and that's the best way. That's the best job for us, and it's the most enjoyable, because you've never got a question, you've never ever got to say to them, him, and they'll say, no, I don't want to fight him. And this is full credit to him.
So Biola, what's your plans now over, when you look back on your career, what do you want to achieve over the next sort of 12, 24? Obviously everyone says they want to be a world champion, but how far do you think you can go? Where do you see Biola sits?
I don't want to limit myself to saying I want to win that, but if I say to you, I just want to win titles, because then it's just me just taking a fight at a time. It's not me looking ahead. So if I end up fighting for Southern area, but I'm saying I want to win that title next. So it's one step at a time with me. It's like if we get to that point of when we are at the Southern area, then I win the Southern area, then it's going to be the next step to winning the English or the British or even going on to European or world. So I'll keep my options open. I'm not limiting myself to anything. I want to win titles.
All right. Well, look, I see you've got on your T-shirt there. You've got obviously your Twitter, your Facebook. If people want to get hold of you, Biola, if people want to follow your career, how do they do it? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, there's Twitter and Facebook and Instagram as well. You can give me a follow.
All right. Well, look, we look forward to September the 24th for the fight. Welcome to the team, and we look forward to your career as it progresses.